Good morning, Facebookers, YouTube followers, podcast listeners, and the works. You know, the Sales Academy fam, alam. Did I just say that? I did out loud. Welcome, guys, and thank you for joining us, sharing us, following us, and please subscribe and let people know that we exist. These messages are designed to get you thinking and acting differently. That's the name of the podcast. That's what we do. So today I had the pleasure of a brilliant man at a business event that I attend on a regular basis. So Evo Networks is something I've supported for a while now, and Evo Wales launched in April of last year. And I've been a member, one of the founder members with the crew there. It's a brilliant group of business people. And on a regular occasion, we get outside people come in and educate us. And the gentleman that was there today is a gentleman by the name of Dan Stanley. And I'm going to put his details into the links to this because he's an utter legend and he runs a business called Better Men. And that's one of the things that Dan's done in his life. And the reason I want to champion Dan for a little bit is being a man, being a 46-year-old man, a dad, a husband, a divorcee, a kind of, all these things that happen in your life as you grow up and you work damn hard trying to do what you do and you try to do your best and you don't really know whether it is until things start to go wrong and the wheels fall off and then you try harder and you do more, you do more, you do more. But you don't necessarily stop and think as men to become more, to be more, to just be. So that was a journey that I went on, and it was certainly a journey that Dan went on as well. And he shared his story today. And, this guy's been senior in the army, an award-winning commando, an award-winning national sports person, and he's organically helped support his wife in building a business with 250 staff, multi-million business and stuff. So the guy's got a passport, he's got a pedigree, he's got a track record, and the wheels fell off when his daughter was born, and literally as he speaks very openly and very candidly about, his life fell apart and started to fall apart, and he was having what a lot of people will call a breakdown, and fortunately he was able to reframe it and work through it in terms of a breakthrough. And he mentioned a couple of brilliant books in that talk today. But something he said, which is the name of this podcast, is regret weighs tons. And I'm going to come on and explain the full quote that he requoted today in a little while. But regret weighs tons was something that really resonated with me. And Dan talked about the courage that it took to have a conversation with a guy on a beach who saw him on holiday with his wife. And they were two guys on a beach reading self-help books. And a comment was made by this guy to Dan. Said, we must be the only two people sat in the Maldives, two blokes sat in the Maldives reading a self-help book. So what's your story? And Dan lovingly laughed and said, you go first. And they had a talk and a walk on the beach, and they shared stories between each other about what's happened in their lives. And it showed the level of courage that you need to just open up as a bloke, because it's not something we do. It's not a common thing that we do, because we are conditioned and stereotyped from a very young age to not cry. And I hear it now. My boy is 9 years of age, and I hear family members, when he starts crying or if he gets upset, saying, oh, don't cry. And I know it's like a conditioned form of support, and, oh, don't cry, stop crying. He needs to cry. Allow him to cry. Cry it up, son. Cry as much as you like. If you need it, get it out. Because I tell you what, it's a lot fucking better out than it is in. So get it out. Cry it out. Talk it out. Shout it out. Go to the top of the frigging mountain and scream it out. Laugh it out. But try and make sure that those behaviors that you use, those mechanisms that you use, those habits and disciplines that you build are productive, not destructive. Because I see this all too many times, both with men and women, that we fall into habits that are destructive and they become our crutch. And some of those crutches creep. Inertia creeps, crutches creep. Alcohol, food, avoidance, antisocial, opting out. These are all kind of behaviors that can support us for a short period of time because it gives us some breathing space. But when they become our norm, they're very isolating and very separating and very self-defecating. They're kind of destructive in no matter how we look at them. So the quote that Dan quoted in full was, discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. And that's all I wanted to come on to do today and share with you, is that brilliant and impactful quote. And I want you to all consider, what are you avoiding? What are you not doing that you know you need to do? Let's take the pressure off ourselves in some areas that we are probably putting too much pressure on ourselves, but let's make sure we apply the pressure where we need to. So what is it that you're avoiding that you know you need to do? Because the longer you avoid it, the bigger and uglier it gets. Every one of us know that when we tackle stuff, it is never as bad as what we think. It is never as hard as what we think. It is never as challenging as what we fear or feel before we do it. And every single person listening to this, you will have gone through stuff in your life that during that time, it was tough and you didn't believe you were going to make it through. You couldn't see a way out, but you're still here. So you did. And it's that part of you that I want to tap into when I say, as Dan said this morning, discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Be awesome, guys. Have an amazing week. Check out Dan Stanley's stuff. He's an amazing guy, and he works exclusively with high-end men, high-end business leaders, business owners, but people that are like extremely successful and extremely busy and extremely avoiding some of the stuff that they need to keep themselves effectively above the water. So yeah, check him out. Thank you, guys. Have a brilliant week.